Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is August 8th and it's time for the market overview. We'll be looking at all the usual suspects, and you'll notice that we're starting off with the Dow and it looks slightly different. I'm going to just changing profiles to illustrate something, which is, before we get into the regular analysis, we have the McClellan oscillator here, and you can see that it is low. It's very low. And I just wanted to show how low it really is. I'm going to go all the way back to September of 2010. You'll see that the McClellan oscillator is the lowest it has been in all of that time, which is crazy. Beyond that, look at the MACD histogram. This is the lowest it has been in all of that time, years. I'm going to switch to the weekly. I'm going to go back a good clip all the way to the beginning of 2008. And what is this? Oh, McClellan oscillator, the lowest it has been since 2008. MACD histogram, it isn't the lowest. I mean, the main 2008 crash exceeds today's, but that's the only value which does. So we have the flash crash way over here. It looks like a little tiny little miniature nothing compared to what we've just been through, and just very interesting to me. And now I'm going to switch back. Just wanted to point out that McClellan oscillator and the MACD histogram, but now we'll do the regular stuff. Alright, here we are with our regular analysis, and here we are with the Dow, and I'll switch this back. And once again, big ugly red continuation bar, 334 points to the downside, almost 635. Massively ugly. You can see that they still have a disgusting amount of wobble in the short-term moving averages. The bearish bar is forming, and we are so far away from the middle Bollinger Band line. We are below by a really big amount the lower Bollinger Band, and unfortunately, I mean, everything is pointing down. The 14-day RSI moving average is still sloping down. I don't like that. That's the worst part of this whole deal to me. And so what do we have to work with? Well, I mean, it is a big, ugly red continuation candle. We do know that the McClellan oscillator is the lowest it's been in years and years and years. Look at our volume. That's massively big volume. Is this capitulation? Is this the exhaustion bar? We just don't know. Certainly, it would give more credence to it being an exhaustion bar had we gapped down more. But it is what it is. I was actually thinking we were going to gap down something like 400 points and then do something, but we got 200 and continued on to 600 plus. Volume wise, if we go back in time, let's go back. We'll go back to 2009, and there's been one day that has exceeded today's volume way back in 2009, and that was I guess a buy the dip day. But so this is very interesting to me that we have volume doing what it is doing. So I'll be looking at that. But beyond that, what do we have? Well, everything is pointing down. Do we have any divergences? If we were to pop up, we would have one on the stochastic. We would have one on the CCI. We wouldn't have one on the RSI or the MACD or the histogram. Going to the 60-minute, we have some on the CCI. We might have one on the stochastic. We have a mild one on the RSI, and we do not have one on the MACD histogram. That's interesting. Um, get rid of this volume since it's taking up so much room and it's already fulfilled its purpose. And go on to the SPX. SPX, same thing. You'll notice the 14-day RSI moving average still sloping down, still has room to move, and this is just ugly. Just ugly, ugly, ugly. Divergences on the 60-minute, yeah. On the CCI we do. On the stochastic we might, depending on what continues to transpire tomorrow. RSI, yes, very mild. MACD histogram, no. Now, beyond all of this, what else do we have? Well, here we are with the VIX. We did talk about having a potential upwards target of 53, and when I made that statement on the weekend video, it was pretty crazy. But what do you know? Look at today, 48, only 4 points away, 5 points away. We are way outside the upper Bollinger Band, and as a matter of fact, on the SPX, just like the Dow, way below the lower Bollinger Band. Once it starts getting to these levels, on the VIX, I would assume that we're getting close, but we still have room. Look, notice the 14-day RSI moving average on the VIX. It's way high, just like almost maxed out. CCI very high, stochastic high, RSI massively high, and look at that histogram, just amazing. On the 60-minute, do we have divergences on the VIX? Yes, we do. CCI we do, stochastic we do, RSI we do, and the histogram we do not. Just barely, but we do not. So I find that interesting. XOY outside of the lower Bollinger Band. Of course, the short-term moving average is all wobbly, bubbly, and nasty. And we still have room on that stinking 14-day RSI moving average. TNA. Now this one is very interesting to me. Extremely, extremely. Because it has lost more than 50% of its value during this down run. And we are below the lower Bollinger Band. And notice the difference here. It's one thing to push lower Bollinger Band down. You close outside of it. You push it down. Notice all these other ones there. It's a little bit out. It's a little bit out. Each time it gets pushed, back inside. It doesn't have to be really an uptick, or it has to be at least a side tick, and to get back inside of it. But it pushes it down. It's outside a little bit. Pushes it down, it's medium outside of it, straddles it, and today massively outside of it. 14-day RSI moving average is now below the oversold line. Now that's really interesting to me. Now everything is still pointing down, but finally, at least this one is already there. 60-minute looking for divergences. And I did take a small position in TNA today to see if we can get anything out of it, but it is a speculative play. Divergence on CCI, divergence on stochastic, very mild, divergence on RSI, very mild, divergence on MACD histogram, aha! So there is something there. Doesn't mean that it has to be salvaged tomorrow. I mean, these could be broken tomorrow. But interesting that it is there right now. UUP. Spinning top. Don't like spinning tops. We have a bearish bar. And it is a ugly short-term moving average pattern on its way up to test the bar. We do not have complete crossover, separation, and expansion prior to entering the bar. So that does not look favorable towards the dollar. Everything is ticking up except for the 14-day RSI moving average. So as long as it continues its descent, it should pull things back down eventually. FXE also spinning top. Notice we do not have a long-term moving average bar to contend with. It is a flat line, and the short-term moving averages are just a mess. This is completely news and politically driven at the moment, along with the dollar, so technicals do not matter nearly as much. 14-day RSI moving average essentially neutral, side tick barely up, everything else pointing down. We're going to need to see how news continues to unfold to see how these are going. But these swings that it's having, the euro, are just crazy. I mean, multiple penny moves before markets open, and it just crazy. GLD, look at that, big spinning top above the upper Bollinger Band. We have excessive separation. We have some wobble. But it is gold, and gold is king in this market indecision area. Notice the 14-day RSI moving average. It is extremely high. If it goes through its cycle and it turns around and starts to go lower, then our second VIX may end up moving down, which doesn't seem likely at the moment, but we're going to have to see everything ticking up. SLV, little hammer formation. Tail could be a little bit longer, but it is what it is. Looks like the 14-day RSI moving average is flattening out. Maybe it's going to roll over, maybe not. Everything else kind of mixed. Stochastic down, CCI up, RSI up, MACD down, histogram ticking lower. Beyond that, it has a bullish long-term moving average bar, and it is trying to get some crossover perhaps for a test of it. Certainly does not look strong for doing that at the moment. But once again, fear and politics ruling the roost. And just for fun, take a look at Bank of America, BAC, and wow, this thing just got destroyed today, 20% down, huge gap. There's talk of bankruptcy possibly, way below the lower Bollinger Band. And look at those short-term moving averages, massive excessive separation, wobble, you name it, it's got it. 14-day RSI moving average still has room to move. So anyways, there we are for today. The candle is just so darn ugly. But, is it going to go another 1,000 points down? Go to Dow 10K, sub 10K? The fear certainly is there. The technicals are so just off the charts. It's just incredible. And I might as well point out on the Dow here, we did break this possible area of support, no problem. And if it's going to go in a straight line and just collapse, then we have stuff down here at down 10K. So we'll be watching. That's 800 points. The rate it's going, that's what, a day and a half. But Uncle Ben talks tomorrow, and we'll see if he has any wild rice for us. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you very much.